Alright guys, today we are playing a 550 point tank war battle report here. I am playing Italians, James is playing the British. We are kind of in a semi, I don't know, North African, kind of Sicily type deal here. Probably inaccurate to have the palm trees, but we did make that and we wanted to use that as terrain. So anyway, alright, we're just going to go ahead and get started. James is going to pull an order die from the bag. And it is Italians. We'll be right back after my movement. Alright, on my first order, I ran my Elefantino into the palm tree, so we're going to treat this as soft cover. And we're going to the bag now. And it is British. We'll be back after James's movement. Alright, on James's first order, he ran his Mathilda behind hard cover here. So we're going to go to the order bag. And it is British. We'll be right back after James's order. Alright, James's second order, he did a run of his Churchill to behind that rock, so he's under hard cover. Next order. And it is British. We'll be back after James's order. Alright, on James's order, he decided to run his Stuart to behind hard cover there. And we're going to go to the order bag. And it is British, so that's the last of the British order dice. James, we'll come back after James's order. Alright, on James's order, he ran his Piat team to behind hardcover there. We're going to go to the order bag, but to be honest, it's going to be all Italian dice. So, alright, be back after my order. Alright, since the last three order die are Italian in the bag, I just decided to do all of my movements at once. I moved one Semovente to here, behind hardcover. And ran them. I ran the Autoblinda to behind hardcover right there. And then I ran this Semovente behind these rocks, and that's hardcover as well. And that's it for turn one. We're going to go ahead and put all the order dice back and go to turn two. Alright, top of turn two, we're just going to go through our movements here. I moved my Elefantino to soft cover there. Got a Semovente behind hardcover, another Semovente behind hardcover, and my Autoblinda is the furthest up behind hardcover. James's Inexperienced Churchill is right there. That's a brand new crew. We have our Mathilda behind hardcover there, and the Stuart behind hardcover. So now we're going to pull our first order die of turn two. And it is British. We'll be right back. Alright, so James has elected to take his Mathilda and fire at the Autoblinda, which is behind hardcover, so James will need a 5-up. And he gets it. Alright, so James hit my Autoblinda, giving me 1 pen. Now James needs to beat
a 7-up.
A 7-up because it is an armored car. So he gets a 6 because his pen's 4, and it's a miss. So it just pins my Autoblinda in place. And now we're going to go to the next order. And it is Italian. We'll be right back. Alright, so on my first order, I've elected to take the Semovente and fire at the Churchill. I have a clear shot. He isn't behind cover from this angle. So I get 1 shot, and I need a 4, 5, or 6, right?
Yes.
Nope, that is a miss. So we're going to go to the order bag. And see who goes next. It is Italian. Be right back. Alright, I've elected to have the Elefantino fire at the Stuart, who is behind hardcover. So I need a 6-up. Nope, that's a miss. Okay, next order. It's Italian. We'll be right back. Alright, I've elected to fire the Semovente into the Mathilda. I'm going to take my measurement. It is going to be -2 because of hardcover. Be right back. Alright, so it's only 6 up because I am within half range, so I need a 6. Nope, no 6s. Alright, next order. And it is Italian. We'll be right back. Alright, so I've elected to advance my Autoblinda to right there. But because I'm pinned, I gotta take an order test. I need to roll below a 10 because the Autoblinda is a veteran. Oh, foobar! Foobar. Alright, I gotta roll on the foobar table. We'll be right back. Right, this is the first foobar roll we've ever done on the channel, so we're going to see what happens. And it is friendly fire. We'll be right back. Alright, so normally James would have been able to control my my unit here and friendly fire one of my units over here. But because he's not within 12 inches of my Autoblinda, the Autoblinda just automatically goes down. So it's currently down at this point. Alright, so we have British orders next. We'll just go through them and we'll be right back. Alright, James's first order of the turn, he's electing to fire the Churchill into my Semovente, which is behind hardcover. He needs a 5-up. Nope. And he does not get it. So we'll be right back after his next order. Alright, James' second order, he's actually moved his Stuart out. He's going to take fire. He's going to fire at my Elefantino, which is behind soft cover. He needs a 6-up. And he's firing his machine guns.
No.
And they're all misses. They all plink into the trees. Okay, we're going to pull our next order, which is another British order, and we'll be right back. Alright, James's last order of the turn, he ran his Piat team to there. And now we're going to go to the top of turn 3. Alright, top of turn 3. Not a lot of movement. James did move his Stuart to there, his Piat team to there, but the Churchill and the Mathilda stayed where they were. Most of my guys, actually all of my guys, didn't even move, although the Autoblinda did foobar and went down, but he's back up with still a pin. And now we're going to go to the first order die. It is Italian. Alright, so we've been rolling wrong. We realize now that we have to hit on 3, 4, 5, 6. And we've been doing 4, 5, 6. So there have probably been a few hits here in the game that we missed. But you know what? We're going to soldier on and finish out this game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order my Elefantino to fire into the Stuart. There are no modifiers. I am within half range, so I do get one shot. I will hit on a 3, 4, 5, or 6. And it's a miss, so there's nothing happening there. We're going to go to the next order die. And it is British, so we'll be right back after James's order. Alright, so James has elected to remain right there and do a fire order into my Elefantino. He is using his machine gun, so he gets 5 shots. He needs a 5-up. Ooh, he's got 2 of them there. Okay, so James has successfully made 2 hits on my Elefantino team, granting me a pin. So James will need a 4-up. 4-up. He's got 1, so we did kill one of the guys there. So I only have 2 crew members left on there, and we're going to move on to the next order. And it is Italian. Be right back. Alright, so I've elected to do a fire order from the Semovente to the Stuart. Get 1 shot. I get a 3-up. I get it. Alright, so James's Stuart has a DV of 8. I have a pen of 5-up, so I need 3 or more. And I get a 6. Alright, so we got a pin on the Stuart here. I would like to roll a 4, 5, 6 to knock it out, but we'll see. Got a 4. The Stuart has been knocked out. That is first blood of this game. Yeah, James loves these little smoke markers. Alright, we're going to pick another order die, and we'll be right back after that. Italian. Alright, so we're going to see if the Autoblinda can make up for its failing last time. I do need to take an order test. My plan is to advance by moving the Autoblinda from there to the edge of that wall and fire a machine gun over at the Piat team. So we'll see. Got to roll below a 10. And I do this time. I think that also removes this pin because it was successful. So we'll move there. And then I'm going to get 5 shots. I am within half distance, so no penalty there. But they are a small team, or a tiny team as I like to call it. So I'll need to roll 5 dice and get 4 up. And I get 2 hits in there. Alright, James's Piat team is regular, so I need 4 up. And they are wiped from the board. There goes the Piat team. They didn't even get to fire off anything. Alright, so that is it for that order. We're going to pull another order die. It is Italian. What is happening here? Okay, we'll be right back. All right, I guess this is the last order of my turn. I'm going to fire the Semovente into the Churchill unobstructed view. So I need a 3, 4, 5, or 6. I get a 4. So I have a pen of 5 up. James has a DV of 10, so I need a 5 up. Nope.
Ooh.
But he does get a pin.
Yes, I do.
All right. I think this is pretty much just going to be a British end of round, so we have a few to go. We'll be right back. All right, James has elected to fire his Mathilda into my Autoblinda. I'm behind hardcover, so that is a 5 up. Nope. All right, James's next order, he has elected to fire his Churchill into my Autoblinda, but he has to take an order test first, and he'll need a roll. So James's order test will need to roll below an 8 to see if the Churchill will do it. And he gets an 8, so it passes, and the pin gets removed. And James will now fire his Churchill into my Autoblinda behind hardcover.
5 up.
We're going to take a measurement first. Okay, James is within half range, so it's just the -2, so he'll need a 5 up.
Oh.
You want to re-roll it?
Yeah, that fell out.
Nope.
Still the same number.
All right, so that was a plink off the wall. And that's it for turn 3. We're going to go to the top of turn 4. All right, we are at the top of turn 4. So basically wiped out James's Stuart and his Piat team. And there were a couple misses from the rest of the British forces. My Semovente has not moved. This Semovente has not moved. The Autoblinda did move to that side. And that's where we're at. We're going to go ahead and pull the order die and see who gets to go first. And it is British, so we'll be right back. Okay, so James has moved his Churchill to there. I cannot see his Churchill because I don't have a turret. I would have to turn that Semovente. He is now at the side armor of this Semovente. He gets -1 for moving, but also he gets +1 for side shot, so that cancels out. So James just needs a 3 up, and he gets it. All right, so James just needs a 4 up to see what happens. He misses, but I do get a pin.
You do get a pin, yes.
So, all right, next order die. It is Italians. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, on my order, I moved my Autoblinda to kind of shield the Semovente right there. I'm going to take 2 shots with my autocannon into the Churchill. I get -1 for moving, so I need a 4 up. I get 1. And James has a
DV of 10.
DV of 10. And oh, you know what? There's nothing I could do because I would need an 8 up. Mm-hmm. So he does get a pin though, so that's nice. But I can't do anything. All right, we'll go to the next order die. It is Italian. Be right back. All right, I've elected to move and fire my Semovente into the Churchill. So he moved just a turn. Now he's got a clear shot at the side of the Churchill. I need a 3 up. Because of movement, I have -1. But because of side armor, it's +1. So that just cancels each other out. So 3 up. Nope. All right. Next order die. It's probably mine, actually. All right, so I'm going to attempt to move my Semovente 9 to there, advance, and then take a shot at the Mathilda. But I'll need to take an order test. You roll below 9, and I do. So we'll be right back. All right, so I moved up there. James is behind hardcover because of that wall, and I moved, so I need a 6 up. Yeah, that's just how this game is going for James. All right, so I get it. So James's Mathilda has a DV of 9. I have a pen of 5 up, so I need to hit that 9. And I do. Here's the moment of truth. First off, let me give a pin to James.
Thank you.
All right, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 1. All right, so that was just crew stun. It immediately goes down. So James's final order for the turn is down. He added also an extra pin, and we're going to go to the top of turn 5. All right, top of turn 5, we have several pins. We have 1 pin on the Churchill, 2 pins on the Mathilda. We have a pin on the Elefantino, but my 3 armored vehicles are free and clear. We're going to pick the first order of turn 5. And it is British. All right, first order of the turn, James is electing to rally his Mathilda. So D6 plus 1. All pins are gone. So they are now ready for the next turn. And we're going to go to the order bag. It is Italian. We'll be right back. All right, so I've elected to move my Semovente there, adding a -1. But because I'm going to be shooting at the side armor of the Churchill, that's a +1. That zeroes it out. So I get 1 shot, 3 up. Nope, that's a miss. That leaves me quite open to James's Mathilda right there. So, all right, order bag. It is British. Be right back. All right, so James has elected to fire the Churchill into the Autoblinda, but he needs to take an order test first. You're regular or inexperienced?
Experience of 8. Below an 8.
So the Churchill does
None.
absolutely nothing. Wow. All right, next order.
We already know it's 2. It's all just German order. It's all Italian order.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to rally my Elefantino here. If I can find it. So it's 1d6. Obviously, pin is gone. And we'll go to the next order, which is Italian. All right, so I'm going to actually order my Autoblinda to fire, see if I can add another pin to James's Churchill, because obviously I'm not going to penetrate his armor. So I need a 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, got nothing. So last order of the turn is Italian. This is Semovente. All right, so the Semovente has a free and clear view to the side armor of the Churchill, which gives me +1. So I need to roll 2 and above. I got a 4. So I have a pin of 5, and he has DV of 10. So I need a 5 up. And I get a 6. And now we're going to roll to see what happens. 2, it sets on fire.
Nope, immobilized.
Oh, immobilized. Okay. All right, so I did a devastating hit on the Churchill, immobilizing it. It added another pin and immediately moved the Churchill to down. So that is turn 5. We are going to go at the top of turn 6, and this will probably be our final turn. Top of turn 6. Not going so well for the British. The Churchill has been immobilized and is currently has 2 pin, so he'll probably just need a rally. And then Mathilda is free and clear, so we're going to pick the first order of turn 6. And it is Italian, so we'll be right back. All right, first order of the turn. I'm going to have my Semovente fire into the side of the Churchill. So I need a 2 up. I got it. I need a 5 up. I don't get it. Wow, the Churchill has survived. Okay, we're going to go to the next order.
Bing, 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 bing.
It is the British. We'll see what James does. All right, so James moved up. That's a -1, but he is at my rear armor for the Semovente, so that's +2. That he needs a 2 up. He gets it. All right, so James has a pen of 4, and he needs to beat a 9. Oh, yeah, there's a pin there. So 5 up. Yuck. Not good, not good, not good at all. All right, next order. It is Italian. All right, so I've elected to fire the Semovente into the side of the Churchill. We're going to see if we're going to finish off. So I need a 2 up. I get it. I need a 5 up.
5 up.
I don't get it. All right. All right, so next order die. Oh, yeah, and there's a pin. Italian. All right, the Elefantino is actually going to do something this turn. I'm going to fire at the Mathilda right there, behind hard cover because of the wall there. So I need a 5 up. Nope. All right, next order die. It is British. All right, James is elected to rally, so D6 plus 1. He gets them all. All right, final order of the turn. is Italian, obviously. All right, so I moved my Autoblinda to there from over there. And I'm going to take a clear shot at the Mathilda. Don't think I could do anything but pin it, but you know, that might be helpful. I need a 4-up. I get 2 of them. And then, all right, so those hits were successful, but I only have a pin of 2 and he's got a DV of 9. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess we can roll to see if we move on, or I don't know. What do you want to do, James?
Call it a draw.
Draw.
A draw.
No, it is not a draw.
Okay. One more turn.
Okay, we're going to go one more turn, guys. We'll be right back. Wow, this tank war game has gone on long enough. This is final turn. This is turn 7. I still have 4 units on the board. James has 2. We're going to go ahead and pick the first order die. It is Italian. Be right back. All right, I've elected to fire my Semovente into the side armor of the Churchill. It is immobilized, so it's no longer moving. I need a 2-up. How do we roll that? Got it. I need a 5-up. Nope. All right. Next order. Italian. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing, but with this Semovente. However, I'll need to take an order test. So, I think this is regular. All right, it's regular, so I need to roll below a 9. And I do. And that removes the pin. All right, now I'm going to fire, so I need a 2-up. Got it. Need a 5-up. Nope. Wow. All right, next order die. It is British. We'll be right back. All right, so James is elected to fire the Mathilda into the rear of the Semovente. He needs to roll below a 9. And he does not. They decide they're going to have their tea right now. All right, next order die. Okay, it's British. We'll be right back. All right, so James is elected to fire his Churchill into my Autoblinda, necessitating a roll of 1 up because of -2 to the side armor.
It's unmissable.
And it's a hit. So, right, so I have a DV of 7. James has a pin of 5. There's the pin marker. James needs a 2-up.
Please.
He gets it. All right, so we'll see what happens next. All right, so James actually hit me, and the result was a 1, so I get a second pin marker, and I go down. Now we're going to go to the next order. And it is Italian. We'll be right back. All right, so my Elefantino is elected to fire at the Mathilda. So I get 2 shots, and I need
5-up.
5-up. So we'll see if we get a 5-up. No! Nope. It's double 1s, so... All right.
We have no more orders.
That's it for the game, guys. I think based on the units that are still in the field, this is a hard-won Italian victory, because obviously the effectiveness of the Italians are not so good. They can't even take out these 2 infantry tanks, although the Churchill was knocked out and the Mathilda was pinned. But at the same time, James is also having a hard time taking out the Italians, the lowly Italians. So this is the first Italian victory for Bolt Action on the channel. Hopefully we're going to see more as Soft Underbelly has been released and new models are coming out. James is going to rework his British Army, his Anzac. We're going to see more of that coming up because we are working on a Crete campaign. Probably just a 3 battle campaign because Crete wasn't really a long battle. But yeah, if you like this video, go ahead and click like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. We'd appreciate it. Hit the bell notification icon to get notified of all new battle reports coming out of the channel. And then click the link in the description below to join our Discord server. That is the best way for us to personally interact with you and discuss Bolt Action and other historical war games. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more news from the front battle reports from Wargaming Noob Historical.